Today, we're taking you to one of Spain's most impressive cities, Ronda, a town perched dramatically on the edge of a cliff. This is no ordinary city. At first glance, it stops you in your tracks, captivating you within seconds with its breathtaking scenery. In Ronda, the city seems to end abruptly, opening up into a deep gorge beneath your feet. While directly ahead stands the magnificent bridge that has connected the two sides for centuries, the Puente Nuevo. With its stone-paved streets, historic churches, dramatic gorge, bullfighting heritage, legendary matadors, and one of Spain's most iconic arenas, Ronda truly embodies the spirit of Andalusia. In today's video, we'll explore the most remarkable sights of Ronda together. First, we'll stop by the Church of Merced and see the truly fascinating detail of the Virgin Mary's hand. Next, we'll take a closer look at the bridge and the Tajo Gorge that made this city famous around the world. Then we'll stroll through Ronda's old streets and experience the city's rich historical atmosphere. And of course, no visit to Ronda would be complete without mentioning its bullfighting tradition. We'll also see the historic arena where matadors enter the ring and face the bulls. If you're ready, let's begin our walk through this enchanting city built above a dramatic gorge. And if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Today, we're going to explore one of Spain's most impressive cities together, Ronda, a town perched on the edge of a dramatic gorge. We'll begin with one of Ronda's most intriguing and curiosity-provoking landmarks, Merced Church. From the outside, it looks like one of Ronda's peaceful, elegant, and historic churches. But once you step inside, you realize that this church stands out not only for its architecture, but also for a very special sacred relic it preserves. Its full name is Iglesia de Nuestra Señora de la Merced Church, dedicated to the Virgin Mary. However, one of the things that makes it so special in Ronda is that it houses the hand of Saint Teresa of Avila. After leaving the church, we walk toward one of the most peaceful and beautiful spots in Ronda, Alameda del Tajo. This is one of the most enjoyable walking areas along the edge of Ronda's cliffs. Located just a short distance from Merced Church, it offers a calmer, greener, and more tranquil way to experience the city's dramatic scenery. As soon as you enter Alameda del Tajo, you leave behind Ronda's stone streets and step into the shade of the trees. Here you'll find wide walking paths, old benches, towering trees, and scenic viewpoints overlooking the gorge. It's not just a park, it's one of the places where Ronda seems to breathe. But the most impressive part reveals itself as you walk toward the end of the park. Suddenly, the trees open up and the valley appears before you, showcasing Ronda's famous cliffside landscape in all its grandeur. Below lies a deep gorge, beyond it the mountains, and all around you the warm and powerful atmosphere of Andalusia. This is one of those places where you naturally want to stop for a few minutes and simply admire the view. In Ronda, everything feels dramatic. The bridge is dramatic. The gorge is dramatic. The city itself is dramatic. But in Alameda del Tajo, that dramatic scenery becomes a little calmer, a little more poetic. As you walk here, you begin to understand why Ronda is such a remarkable city. It's not only its historic buildings that leave an impression, but also the way it coexists with nature. It feels as if the city wasn't built on the edge of the gorge, but rather grew together with it. The most memorable moments aren't found inside a building, they happen quietly at the end of a park, gazing out over the valley. After this breathtaking view, we're heading to one of the places that best reflects the culture of Spain. A short while later, we arrive at one of Ronda's most important landmarks, Plaza de Toros de Ronda. This is Ronda's historic bullfighting arena. From the outside, its white walls give it a rather simple appearance. But once you step inside, you find yourself in a completely different atmosphere. With its stone columns, arched galleries, and circular arena layout, this is not just a performance venue, it is also a powerful monument that tells the story of Ronda's past. Ronda is known as one of the birthplaces of modern bullfighting tradition. The name Pedro Romero is especially important here, as he is one of the most iconic figures in the city's bullfighting history. Of course, it's also important to remember that bullfighting is a highly controversial tradition today. Nevertheless, this arena remains an important place for understanding Ronda's history. Its aristocratic culture, its equestrian heritage, and the city's former social life. Inside, you'll find much more than the arena itself. There are museum sections featuring historic costumes, posters, equestrian artifacts, and exhibits that explain Ronda's deep connection to this tradition. So this is not just a place to take photographs, it's also one of the best places to gain a deeper understanding of the city's past. I think that's what makes Plaza de Toros de Ronda so special. On one side you have the brilliant white architecture of Andalusia. On the other, a historic arena surrounded by stone arches. Here you can clearly feel both the elegance and the strength that define Ronda's character. Let's explore the different sections of this magnificent arena together. Just a short walk from Puente Nuevo, on the old town side, we come across a small but beautiful viewpoint, Mirador de Aves. It may not be as grand as Ronda's larger terraces, but it's a lovely spot to admire the Tajo Gorge and the area around the bridge. In Ronda, that's part of the charm. You turn a corner, and suddenly another balcony opens up before you, overlooking the dramatic cliffs. Right now we're walking across Ronda's most famous landmark, Puente Nuevo, or the New Bridge. This bridge is a historic structure dating back to the 18th century. It connects the two sides of Ronda across the El Tajo Gorge. On one side lies the historic old town, and on the other, the newer part of the city. So this is much more than just a crossing point. It's a structure that embodies the entire identity of Ronda. The construction of Puente Nuevo was far from easy. An earlier bridge built at this location collapsed, and the bridge we see today was completed only after many years of work. Then we arrive at one of the most beautiful viewpoints nearby, Mirador de Aldehuela. This is one of the most impressive places from which to admire Ronda's famous Puente Nuevo and the Tajo Gorge. The viewpoint takes its name from José Martín de Aldehuela, the architect best known for designing the bridge. So this is not only a beautiful lookout point, but also a place directly connected to one of Ronda's most important landmarks. From here, the bridge stands before you in all its grandeur. Below lies the deep gorge. Across the way, white houses line the edge of the cliffs, surrounded by stone walls and the historic fabric of the old town. It's here that you truly begin to understand why Ronda is such a special place. I think Mirador de Aldehuela is not a spot to simply pass through. It's worth taking a few minutes to pause and admire the bridge, the gorge, and the unique relationship the city has with the cliffs around it. Because that is one of Ronda's greatest charms. The city seems to have been built right on the edge of a void. Yet it remains remarkably calm, elegant, and captivating. After leaving Mirador de Aldehuela, we make our way down toward the older and quieter part of Ronda. As we descend, we'll pass through historic gates and bridges while enjoying the scenery along the way. Here, we come across one of the city's most important remnants from the Andalusian period, the Barrios Árabes, or the Arab baths of Ronda. From the outside, they may not look particularly impressive, but they are truly a special place for understanding Ronda's history. During the Muslim Andalusian era, baths like these were an important part of urban life. People came here not only to wash, but also to relax, purify themselves, and socialize. As soon as you step inside, the layout of the rooms immediately stands out: the cold room, the warm room, and the hot room. The light filtering through the star-shaped openings in the ceilings creates a beautiful atmosphere. It almost feels as though the silence of the past is still drifting down through the stonework. In Ronda, most visitors focus on the bridge, the gorge, and the spectacular views. But I think these baths reveal another side of the city. Here, you realize that Ronda is not just a romantic mountain town. It is also a place shaped by a rich and layered Andalusian history. While you are climbing back, you understand that Ronda is not a place to simply glance at and move on. If you take a moment to pause and reflect, you can easily imagine what daily life must have been like centuries ago within these stone chambers. In the historic center of Ronda, near the Corpus Gate of the Church of Santa Maria la Mer, we pass through a small and peaceful square. This square is called Plaza Poeta Pedro Pérez Clotet. It takes its name from the poet Pérez Clotet, who had close ties to Ronda. We make our way up to Plaza Duquesa de Parcent. This square feels like the city's open-air living room, surrounded by historic buildings, palm trees, and old stone architecture. The most striking structure in the square is the Church of Santa Maria la Mer, rising directly in front of us. Built on the foundations of a former mosque, this church is one of the best examples of Ronda's rich history and the different civilizations that have left their mark on the city. Around the square, you'll also find the town hall, former monastery buildings, and traditional Andalusian houses. Unlike the dramatic cliffside views found elsewhere in Ronda, the atmosphere here feels calmer and more local. People sitting on benches, trees providing welcome shade, and the surrounding historic buildings all give the square a peaceful and welcoming character. As our journey through Ronda comes to an end, there's one thing I can say with complete confidence. This is not just a city of beautiful views. It's one of those places that stays with you, a place with real character and soul. Throughout the day, we admired Puente Nuevo, walked along the edge of the Tajo Gorge, and stopped at scenic terraces to see how Ronda lives side by side with the dramatic cliffs that surround it. At Plaza de Toros, we explored the city's historic traditions. At the Arab baths, we discovered traces of its Andalusian past, and we connected with the history woven into Ronda's stone streets. What I love most about Ronda is this. Everything begins with a spectacular view, but the experience continues in the small details. A stone gateway, a narrow street, a quiet square, a glimpse of the valley between whitewashed walls. When all of these come together, Ronda becomes more than just a place you visit, becomes a city you remember. So, if you come to Ronda, don't just take a photo of the bridge and leave. Take some time to walk, get lost in the streets, stop at the viewpoints, and truly take in the scenery. This is not a city to rush through. It's a city to experience slowly. Our tour of Ronda ends here, but the images of this remarkable place will stay with us for a long time. If you enjoy discovering places like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next journey.